Welcome back, Weebs and Gamers. This is AG, back with another deck profile, and this time I'm going to be doing it on my updated Gochiusa deck, or the Rabbit House build specifically. And I am just testing out a few kind of tech cards, I guess. I'm trying to combine the Rabbit House build with some of the mono blue cards, just because I just feel they're better cards in general than like what Rabbit House had before. Namely like the early play package, and also just because the event is like extremely good, and I really want to see if I can like incorporate it into the Rabbit House build without making it too inconsistent, I guess. So yeah, I guess we'll just get started on it here. So first we have the four Resays. Of course, I think you will pretty much always play four of this card. It's pretty crazy. Basically, just on play, look at up to three cards from the top of your deck, choose any Rabbit House, add it to your hand, and then ditch one. And also has 2,500 power, which is pretty good actually for just like a hand filter. So sometimes she can kind of just like stick around if you have like some back rows, and she's like 3k or 35. So yeah, this card is amazing, and pretty much one of the main reasons why you want to play the Rabbit House deck is this card. Next, we have a new card. So we have three of this Resay. This is the new Ricky card. So it's basically just like a full power Ricky. Just come and play, pay one, clock one, search your deck for level 1 or lower, add it to your hand. And it also has the effect of you can on play top check, and if it's a Rabbit House, it gives itself 2k power for turn, so it just becomes like a 3,500 beater. I wish you could assign that power somewhere else, so that would be way better, but it's fine. It's still a Ricky. That's the main point you play it, and it's actually really good for Rabbit House specifically, because Rabbit House still plays the old on reverse search Chino combo, so preferably it's nice to get to level 1 first before your opponent. That way you can get like some easy reverses. Yeah. Next we have three of the Chino Brainstorm. So this is just like the old school Chino Brainstorm, just search. And also gives 500 power at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase to one of your characters. So it's still a search Brainstorm, and you don't really need it for like the early play package anymore, but it is Rabbit House, and it's pretty much as far as I know, like the best Rabbit House Brainstorm, so you just play it anyway. And it is also blue. You kind of need it for blue, actually, to help color fix for that as well. Next we have... This is also another new card. So this is just like a 3,500 beater card if you have 5 or more hand. But then it also has the effect of it always has the effect of if you reverse your opponent, you can salvage one, ditch one. And this card is really key. I think this is actually one of the best cards from the new set. Almost as good, pretty much as good as the Ricky, in my opinion, is this card. Mainly because the Rabbit House deck has a good back rows at level 0 to like defensively buff your guys. But before, you didn't really have a good beater card kind of thing, other than just the Resay filter card. So this just being like a 3,500 by itself, and then also on top of that, you have potentially some back rows as well. You know, it could be like 4k or 45. So it's very good that it can just live over turn a lot of the time. And if they do crash anything into it, you just get a free salvage one, ditch one as well. So that's pretty cool. Next we have two of the stock charging back row Cocoa. So this is just 500 up front, and you can just rest 2 and give someone the ability of on reverse blind stock for the turn. So this is like a super good card, actually, surprisingly, for only being like a uncommon. But yeah, so you kind of just like use this all throughout the game, just like building like if you don't need to brainstorm for the turn or whatever, you can just rest both your cards and get an extra stock. It's supreme, really good. I wish that card was in like more sets, actually. And then this is another new card, so it's just a just come and play ditch a Climax Salvage one. I think it has to get like Rabbit House or whatever. It's still trait restricted for that, but also has pretty cool effect actually. So you can on play pay one ditch one, and then look at top X equal to your opponent's characters on their stage. So kind of like it's a little bit worse if you have to play it like first turn or second turn or whatever when they might not have full stage, because then kind of the general like where it's just like always you can look at top three would be better. But once you get basically past level 0 and into the late game, this card gets better because then it allows you to potentially look up to 5 if you need to, and allows you to take anything. So you can get a Climax, you can get any odd traded character, whatever. So and also it's pretty cool. So technically, since both of these are on play abilities, you could use the that effect to search your deck for, or I mean, look at top 5 or whatever, and grab a Climax, and then you could also just use the second effect to ditch that Climax right away to salvage a character if you wanted. So pretty cool card. That's another card that I kind of wish would be in more sets now. That's the first time I've seen a card like that where it has kind of those two abilities combined. So yeah. And then the last level 0 is just the level 0 Climax Swapper. So I mean, good card. Pretty much always want to play a Climax Swapper if you have one. And then go to level 1. So we have 4 of the Chino level 1. So it's just the old school combo, just on play or on attack with pants when you reverse. Yeah, just search your deck for Rabbit House, add it to your hand, and gets 1,000 for if you have like 2 or more Rabbit House, whatever the condition is, I forget. But yeah, just super good card. I still wish they made some sort of new updated level 1 combo, but this gets the job done. And then 2 level 1, just 2k backups, because whenever you play like a search combo, you always want to play at least some backups, just because that way you can just search the backups like right away. You don't have to worry about like looking at top X and like whiffing it or whatever, right? So you can always just like search it guaranteed. So you pretty much always want to play at least one counter, I would say, especially with search combos, especially. And then this is a copy of the bomb. This is like the foil version, so it has like slightly different art. But yeah, it's just like a anti-level bottom deck bomb. And then also has experience. If you have experience 2, on play you can give someone 1,500 and hexproof, so it can't be targeted for the turn. So that's a pretty damn cool effect to have on a card that you possibly might already be playing anyway. So just the fact that it has that bonus secondary effect is really good. And like in Rabbit House, normally you wouldn't really have experience at level 2, or I mean at level 1, because you don't really need it for anything. So the fact that in this new build of mine that you do just straight up play experience now anyway. So this card, you know, basically like even at level 1, you could use that effect if you wanted. But it is better to use that level 2, obviously, because then you can give like an early play to hexproof kind of thing. But and then the last level 1 is this tech card. So this is like an old card from one of the old packs, and it's global 500 to all blue characters, and then you can rest it and give any character on the stage +2 level, and that is very key for playing the new Maya level 3, because its early play condition is just your opponent having a level 3 in play. So even if they just have level 1s and they haven't even gotten to level 2 yet, or early played anything, you can, if you have this, you could just rest, make one of the level 1s level 3, and then just early play right away. So pretty cool. Just playing 1, just because it is kind of like, you do play quite a bit of back row in this deck already, and that's basically its sole purpose, is just to combo with the Maya if you need to play it. But yeah, it is still pretty good card, and it's a cool card that from the old sets that is now relevant again, I guess. So then we move on to level 2. We have 2 of this Chino level 2k to front level 3s. So this is kind of like the replacement for the old one. The old one you played the Cocoa, which you needed to play that because you needed both it and the Brainstorm in play to early play the Resay. But now that I swapped like early play packages, so I'm not playing that Resay anymore. So I figure, well, I might as well just replace it with something else because that card isn't even that good anyway. So this card is much better, way better, because it has a secondary effect of if you have experience 5, then you can rest it, give someone extra 1k, and the bottom deck kick effect. So that is very useful in today's meta when if you're playing against like Hololive with Rushia level 3 that has built-in hand encore, or just anything that you just want to permanently get rid of so they can't encore it. Super good for that. And also gives extra 1k too, so if you just need to climb something. And also is key for another card that it is blue, actually. So, then we have the refresh counter. So this is just the old refresh counter. I don't have a foil of this yet, unfortunately. Should probably get on getting one of those. But I just have like a whole bunch from the old set because I have a lot from the old set. And it was only an uncommon in the original. So, but eventually I'll get a foil for this. And yeah, it's just a refresh counter. So pretty standard card. Not really going to explain refresh counters too much. And then this is the spice. So this is the event counter. So this is supposed to be played in mono blue, essentially, because it requires you to have at least 4 blue characters in play to activate it in the first place. But it's a compass from Contact Collection. So it's when you play it, you mill 3. Technically, it's a brainstorm, so you brainstorm 3. And if you hit a climax, it negates all damage from that attack. And but if you whiff it, then it goes to your top deck. So, but realistically, it's like good either way because even if you whiff it, you just milled 3 cards that aren't climaxes, essentially. So it just allows you to potentially just cancel right after that anyway. Even if it goes to top deck, like they're still probably attacking for like 3 or 4, whatever it is. So it's still, it just increases your chances of canceling either way, basically. And also, if you do successfully hit, it's slightly better than Compass because it's level 2. It gives you, or allows you to give 4k to the character as a counter anyway. So 4k is like really big actually. Like that's supremely allows you to like just beat stuff no problem. Usually if it's like 25 or 3k, you might just like barely squeak out being able to beat them, but 4k is like you're pretty much gonna beat them no matter what if you do hit. So yes. And now that you play like blue early plays, this allows you to just activate it at level 2. Preferably, you probably would want to use it at level 2, honestly, because once you do get to level 3, you're going to be playing Cocochinos to finisher. So then, and those are red, so it kind of conflicts with that. But technically, at level 3, if you just had 1 Cocochino and then 4 blue cards, you still could activate it technically. But yeah, it kind of is better to be used at level 2, I feel, just to prevent you from taking a lot of damage and just give you that little bit of damage buffer so that when you do get to level 3, you can just play like at least like 2 Cocochinos and just like kill them no matter what. So yeah. Then moving on to level 3, of course we have the 4 Cocochinos. So this is like your main finisher, just I mean, it's still on the ban list. I don't know why. I think it should just come off completely, but it is still there. So it's just come and play, draw 2, ditch 1. If you have, it gets 500 for every other rabbit house you have in play. And on attack with the gate, pay 2, ditch 2, burn 1 twice, and it gets like 6k power for no reason. Like this card would be already really good, but then it just gains like 6 power out of nowhere. So, or 6k power. So. That's extremely good. Just goes to like 18k or more most of the time. So, yeah, pretty dumb card. Next we have, this is the new Maya early play. So this is you need, your opponent has to have a level 3 in play for you to early play it. It also has come and play, if your entire stage is blue, then it I think you have to have maybe four or more. I can't remember, but you have to have all blue, I think. And it's on attack. It gains 5k, and your opponent cannot play backups or events in response to this card's attack. So that's really good. It just allows you to, it's 14k just by itself. And then plus if you have any back rows or climax or whatever, so just allows you to out problem things, and they cannot counter or do anything about it. And also has a secondary effect of come and play. You can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, rearrange them in any order, and put them back on top, and then also bounce one of your opponent's characters. So this card is like the ultimate board breaker, in my opinion. Like, if your opponent just has standbyed a bunch of stuff at level 2 or whatever, bam, you just slam one of these, bounce one of their cards, and then just free run over another card. And they can't do shit about it. So, yeah, and also allows you to just like stack your triggers for a turn, so you can attack in whatever order you want to deal the most damage or more precise damage, whatever you want. So, yeah, super good card. The only downside I just want to mention with this is that it's not Rabbit House. So, it does, it will whiff for a few certain things, but overall, I think the benefits outweigh the downsides for that card. It's just so good. Moving on, we have the 3 of the Chino early play. So this card is just pretty much a kind of standard. Just if you have 2 or less Climax early play, and then just ditch 1, heal to stock. And but it is slightly better in my opinion, because its effect is just it gains 1k for every one of your back rows. So even if you have to crash 2 of your front rows and you still have this, it's still full power. It's not like 500 for everyone's, and then it'll be like 1,000 weaker. So it's always just full power as long as you have 2 back rows. So yeah, really good card. Probably I might test playing 4 of this and only 2 Mayas. I'm still thinking about that. But because you do need experience now, usually you're going to be putting some amount of level 3s in your level zone. So I kind of don't want to be down to like, I like the 3-3 split, because I'm probably going to have to put at least one of them in my level zone. And last level 3 is just one of the Megu. So this is just like the like budget Fumio, I guess, where you just come and play rest 1. Or I guess it's more like the Arisa from Bang Dream, where you come and play rest 1 of your characters, and then you can shuffle back all cards in your opponent's waiting room back into their deck, except for 1 Climax. And also has, if you have experience 6 on attack, you can give someone 15. That effect's pretty irrelevant most of the time. Like, you usually have no problem beating stuff in this deck. But because you do play experience in this deck, you actually can use it now. So it is there if you need it. And then last is just the Climaxes. So we have 4 of the Gate and 4 of the Pants. So that's about it, guys. If you like the deck, still a pretty experimental deck. I've tested it a few times and it has worked, but it is slightly inconsistent for sure. I mean, like, adding any amount of like non-Rabbit House characters into a Rabbit House deck is gonna make it more inconsistent just in general anyway. But I feel like I didn't add too much that it like really hinders the deck. Like, I basically just added in 3 of the Maya, 1 of the Megu level 3, and then 3 of the event. Those are the only like whiffs, I guess you would say, for the Resay level 0. So I'm gonna keep testing it out, because I do feel this deck kind of like has a good mix of like the best of both decks. Like, it has the mono blue best of that, and then also has Rabbit House broken cards. I just wish you could play the 1-0 counter, then it'd be like perfect. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you enjoyed, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and this is AG signing out.